Alrighty, so this is now the video kind of how to break down Canvas and where to find stuff, what to do with your homework, things like that. If this should be, you should be watching this after you've already watched the disclosure video. If that's not the case, please make sure you go back and watch the disclosure video first. That way you kind of know what I'm talking about when I say stuff like 10% of your homework and things like that. Okay, cool. So let's start. So when you log into Canvas, it'll probably post up something like this. When you go to our section, I should say, when you go to our College Prep Canvas course, it'll look something like this. Yours will look a little different. Mine, obviously, I am not a student, so I don't have a student account. So it's sort of showing me a demo account right now. You will not have this purple box on the outside. That's just the only difference between yours and mine. This purple box just tells me that I am in student view, so this is what you guys see. Mine looks just a little bit different. So, alright, cool. So let's talk about the different pieces in case you've never used Canvas before, which is entirely possible. Over on this side, that's all of your stuff. So you've got your account, you can upload a picture, your dashboard, all of your courses, calendar, inbox, just like email, and then help if you need any help, not from a teacher or a specific course, but for like IT help, like if your Canvas isn't working for some reason. That's all for every single one of your classes. So if you need a specific question for our class, just make sure you are in the college prep course. So if you click on courses, you'll see a big list of all of them, and you can click on the college prep one. Alright, cool. And make sure up in the top it says college. That way you really are looking at the college prep course. If you click on this little button here, you just saw that when I did that, all of these left-hand options went away, but you want to make sure you have those, because those are like the main things within this course. So you've got home, that takes you to this page here. Announcements will take you to, obviously, announcements that I may post into Canvas, things like you have an upcoming test, and hi, welcome to school, and things like that. So if you were to go in right now, you'd probably see one from me about, happy first day of school, I hope you guys got back. You'll see something like that. You can go read it later, but that's where it will be under. Modules is probably the most important tab. Modules has the chapter by chapter setup. It's basically everything in order and by chapter. And we're going to definitely go over there in just a sec because we're going to do a demo module. But that's really the main part of this whole this whole Canvas course. Discussions are there. We will not really use them. They just house note videos. In case you have questions, you can post them there. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Assignments, obviously your homework assignments. Quizzes, we're not going to have any on Canvas. Quizzes will not be held on Canvas. That is sort of just like a blank tab. You don't ever have to worry about that one. I just put it there because for my own convenience sake, that's where I store my quizzes, but it has nothing to do with you, so you don't need to worry about taking quizzes on Canvas. It's just homework and discussions if you need them. Your grades will be posted to Canvas. I will try and make Canvas and Skyward match the best I can. That part is still new to me, how to connect Canvas and Skyward. Skyward will always be the most accurate because that's the one that we actually use to report to the school, but I will try to make sure they match as the quarter goes. I won't wait until the end of the quarter to try and match them. I won't do it every day because that's a lot of work, and trying to do that, again, I'm not super fluent in that yet, but at least once a week. At least once a week I will try to make sure that Canvas and Skyward match, so you don't have to worry about your grades. People is sort of the people in your class. It's got everybody on Canvas that is in the same course as you. I believe you have only the option to look at those who are in the same class section as you, so all of period 2, all of period 3, so on and so forth. And so if you wanted to message someone, oh my gosh, I forgot what the test is, when's the test, we can look it up. Hopefully, Canvas will tell you that. But if you really want to talk, you want to make a study group, you're welcome to use that for under the People tab. I'm not going to have anything like a big group project or discussion that we will be using together, but I left it open for you guys so that if you wanted to talk to each other, you could. And then last but not least, we've got files. If you wanted to jump, you're pretty good, you're tech savvy, you can jump into that. It's everything unorganized in a sense. But if you misplaced any files and you just wanted to look in file for something, it would be there. Alright, cool. In the middle here, you've got sort of a Facebook feed kind of thing. So you've got recent messages and recent activity. So it will show you if there are any announcements being made, there's any tests coming up, there's any homework assignments you maybe have done, homework assignments you finished and got a score on, maybe any messages they've sent you, and it runs like a Facebook feed. So basically, you've got, they'll pop up with the newest ones on the top, and then the older ones go down below. The most important is probably right over here on the right, so stuff coming up for this week. Now, right now, when you log in, you'll probably see a few assignments over there. For me, it's June when I'm making this video, and so it's not showing me anything that's coming up, but this will show you all the things you have to do, and it will show you all of the things that have been recently done. So it'll put it in two separate categories for you. So if you've done the homework, it will show you that. If you forgot to do the homework, it will also show you that too. So looking over here, just to double check, that's always a good thing. And then on your main dashboard page, it has another one for all of your classes. And I think that's awesome because it's like a personal planner. So if all of your teachers are using Canvas, that's fabulous because then it's just got everything there for you. Unfortunately, I don't think every single teacher is quite at the Canvas level yet, so you may still have to you may need to keep track of it mentally, but for my class at least, it'll all be over there. And then right here you've got View Calendar. It's another way to look at what's coming up. Again, that shows you all of your courses, not just ours, but I'm going to show you a little bit in a way, I'm going to show you a way to just look at our class. Alrighty, so, sorry about that. Let's take a look at those modules. Let's head on over to modules. So just went ahead and click on modules, and I get thrown into this stuff right here. And these are all the different types of pages you will see in my Canvas course. And if we scroll down, so the first module we have, first chapter, quote unquote, is called Introduction to Canvas Modules. There's not much to actually do here. You'll notice there's only one actual assignment that has a due date, August 28th. That's to get your disclosure signed. So the rest of this is just to show you how it all works. In fact, I'm going to eventually post this video under demo pages, so it's a little chicken and egg going on here. But basically, these are just how-tos. And then you'll notice if you keep scrolling down, you've got Unit 3. It's got the same kind of format. Notice there's quite a bit more in Unit 3. You've got Unit 4 and 5. Eventually, there'll be a 6, 7, 8, 9, and then one for the final. And the whole year will be posted under modules. So if you ever have any question about what we're doing, it'll be under here. But notice that Unit 3 is not quite open yet. It's already locked. It's kind of, won't let me click on any of these guys, right? It'll just kind of show me what's coming up. If I don't want to look at it, I can use this little arrow right here to make it go away. But if I did want to look at it, I'd be like, okay, wow, Unit 3 is going to be a few weeks. That's going to be pretty long. But I can't click on anything yet because it's locked, and it shows me that over here when it's locked in the corner. If I were to hover over that, it would show me that it's locked until the 25th, which is going to be Monday. No, I'm sorry, Friday. It'll be locked until Friday. Then I can actually go in there, open it up, and I can start working on it, right? And then each of the modules will have a different lock date, and it'll go throughout the year. That way, you're not overwhelmed with all this stuff to do, and also you can't get too far ahead. So, all right, cool. But let's go back into the introduction and take a look more at these different types of pages. First one up is the demo note page. So I'm going to click on this. This will be a sample of a note page you might see, a notes page. And these notes pages don't really require anything of you. Actually, they don't require anything of you. They're just in case you've lost the notes. So if you have, you'll get a blank note packet in class the first day. You don't have to worry about printing them out yourself the first time. But if you ever lose your note packet, you can find it here on the notes page, right? You can also use it if you were absent, or if you know you're going to be absent. You can use this if you lost it, need a new one. You can use it to study for an upcoming test, or if you have any questions, you can refer to the notes. Another great place to do any of that is also the video discussion pages, which we will see in a second. Alright, but let's take a look at these notes pages. Notice I always upload them as PDF, so you don't have to worry about having a certain kind of Word docs or anything like that. I'm going to upload as PDF. Here's the ones for Unit 4. So if I were to click on this, just click on it, notice it automatically downloads. If you're using Mac, it's going to download just like it did with mine. If you're using a Windows, it'll probably pull down a tab here and say, where would you like to save this? And then you can save it there and print it out. But either way, if you just click on it, it should automatically download for you. And if you click on it multiple times, it'll multiple download as many times as you need. But before you download it, if you wanted to make sure it was the right one, you could click this little guy right here, this little inspect element, preview the document. If you click on it, it actually opens it up in Canvas for you. So that way, if you're not on Wi-Fi, I know for some reason, if you're on a hotspot for some reason or whatever, and you don't want to waste your data, then you can go look inside first and make sure it's actually the one you want to download. So when you open it up, it'll look something like this. It'll be exactly the same note packet you get in class, the exact same one that'll coordinate to the videos, and you can just print one out. But notice it is blank. It doesn't have any work on it, so you don't think like, oh, I'll just download this later when all the notes are written. No, I'm not going to update it with filled in notes or anything like that. It's just in case you've lost your packet and you need a new one. All right, so that's the demo note page, right? So that's the note page. That's what they'll usually look like. If I wanted to undo this, I could minimize that. And when I'm done here, if I didn't want to go back to modules and then click the next one, I could just go over here to the right and click this little next button. Before I do that though, and I want to make sure if I want to make sure the next page is the one I actually want to go for, if I hover over it like that, it will show me what the next one is. So the next one would be the demo section notes, right? And that is the place I want to go, so I'll go ahead and click that. All right, once I've done that, I can, I'm in the demo section notes now. Notice that it's actually under a discussion page, and this is in fact a discussion. So notice down here it's got a place to reply. We'll talk about that in just a sec, but basically you'll see these are the videos. So it'll always have a little blurb about which video it is. It'll say right here, section 2.5 notes or something like that. And then it'll say, here are the notes for section 2.5. If you have any questions, you may use the discussion below. And then, since the file is already in there, you can just go ahead and click it. That was just a little demo to show you how it worked. I know it's super fancy, right? All of my videos are YouTube videos, so they should embed right away. If you right-click, some of you are really, really tech-savvy, you can loop the video, or you can open in a separate tab. Some of you know how to do that. I'm not quite that savvy, as you can tell. But, ooh, this video is hilarious, by the way. You can't, oh, never mind. Anyways, so yeah, the videos will be right here. Now, they will not be 5 seconds long, sorry. They will be more like 50, because they're the ones that the same ones we use in class, the exact same ones. While I will be out, we'll be using videos in class, and when I get back, I will make them exactly the same as I would in class. So if you are absent, this is the page you want to go. If you're absent, you definitely want to look at the section notes, because it'll be virtually the same thing we've done in class, which would be great for some of you guys who seem to be absent a lot. In addition, it's also a great place if you maybe missed a part of the notes, or you lost your notes, you need to make them up, you need to review something, you have a question. These section notes will always be there for you, and they'll always be attached to the section that you're doing homework on, and they'll always be there for you. Now, say you're listening to a video, or you're watching a video, and you suddenly have a question, you have no idea what to do with this part. Then what you can do is use the discussion. So the discussion lets you send me a message right there in the notes, so I know exactly what you're talking about. You'd be like, hey, Miss K, you can send me a message, hey, Miss K, that chipmunk is funny. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, right? So you can send me a message, and then you just hit post reply, right? And if you post reply, I can see it right there, and it even says who it is, what time it was sent, and the question you have. And then I can actually go in and reply to you. And I like it here because in case a few of you have the same question, I can answer them all at the same time. So I prefer, if you have questions about the notes, to send me one in the discussion. If you are embarrassed about your question though, you are always welcome to send me an email via the inbox. So you go to inbox here and you type in teacher name and you send me a note that way. That's totally fine. But this way other students get to see your question, so if there are multiple questions, I can just post it there. Alright, cool. So that's the discussion video. That's usually what they look like. You are not required to ever send me a question, okay? This is just for you. It's just in case you are absent, you have a question kind of situation. It is not for a grade. There's nothing discussion-y or grade-y about it. Alright, so the next one will be part of your grade. It's the demo assignment. So notice I knew that because I hovered over it and it said assignment. So the next one will be an assignment. And that's usually the order you'll find them in. You'll find the section video and then the assignment right after it. So there's nothing to worry about. So if we go previous, I can go back to the notes and say, oh wait, what was that? Okay, watch. Oh, okay, I get it. Now I go back. I can go next. I'm already in the assignment, right? Alright, cool. Next up is the assignment. So the assignment, as you just saw, will automatically load. It'll automatically load within Canvas. There's no printing out. There's no downloading of files. Or you don't need to purchase anything. It's just already in there for you in Canvas. Up at the top, it'll have instructions. Notice it says this is a demo assignment. It's not for any points. You're welcome to try it out yourself, see how it works, but Up here, what it will usually say is this is the assignment for chapter 3.2 or whatever it is. If you cannot access this assignment for some reason, whatever reason it may be, it will provide a supplement assignment down here. So right here in this blank area. However, you've also got in class a piece of paper that says alternate homework assignments. Okay, so if for whatever reason, if you cannot get on Canvas, then you still have homework. Okay, you still have homework. I do not take I can load Canvas as an excuse. Okay, you got this, or the assignment sheet you have has all of the alternate assignments for the whole year. Okay, so for the whole year, you have this alternate assignment sheet. If your Canvas does not work, then that homework assignment is due the exact same day as this Canvas assignment would have been due. So, for example, say we were actually doing this demo assignment, and it was due on Friday, right? And for some reason it's Thursday night, it's midnight, and I've severely procrastinated. And I open up my Canvas and I say, oh crap, my internet's down. What do I do? How do I do this? Oh my gosh, my internet's down, panic, panic, panic. I don't panic. I calm down, first off. I know we can't live without our internet, but if the internet does go down, then I pull out the alternate assignment sheet, I take my textbook, my giant textbook that I'm going to get next time, I'm going to get Friday, and I would do the assignment from there. Okay, so there is no excuse for not doing your homework. Either you do the Canvas assignment and it automatically uploads, or you do the paper assignment, you turn it into me next time. Okay, for those of you who do not have internet capability for whatever reason, you are more than welcome to do every single textbook assignment. However, we can take steps to avoid that. So if you would like to maybe talk to counselors about getting a laptop or some sort of school-funded thing, you're welcome to do that as well. The library has internet that you're welcome to use all the time. The after-school tutoring has laptops that you can use. There are definitely a whole bunch of other options before you have to do the supplement assignment, but in the event that for some reason your Canvas isn't working and it's due in 20 minutes, you can do the book assignment. Okay, so the book assignment is always there. Alright, I hope that made sense. Let's check out this demo assignment though, so I can show you kind of how it works. First, some reason, some people really, really hate to do homework online. If you want to print a version, you're welcome to do that, so you can print it out. But then I would like you to go back and actually type it in. The whole point is that we're saving Mother Nature here, so maybe avoid this button altogether and just do the book assignment if you don't want to. But that's a personal choice. Just don't print the assignment. Don't worry about it. You can, just know that you can print it out. It just pulls up the whole thing, but you don't really need to use this button. Okay. So over here on the side, you'll see all the questions. There will definitely be more than 5. They'll usually be about 15 to 20, depending on the assignment, which is always a little better than the book. The book's usually about 30, just because you don't get the instant feedback. But they will appear like this. It'll hover over, it'll say all the questions, and then it will tell you which question you're on by highlighting it in yellow, and then the question will appear over here. Now this question is very simple. It says type 0, right? So I type 0, I do what it says, and then I hit submit to submit my answer. When I've done that, if I've done the problem correctly and I get the correct answer, it'll show me. It says the score on last attempt, the score in the gradebook, both 1 out of 1, right? Everything's in green, nice, pretty, I know I got full credit. And over here on the question, it checks it off for me. So I know that I finished this question because of a check off. Then I can go to question 2. Now be careful. This next button down here will not take you to question 2. Notice it will take you to the next page. Okay, so just avoid that until you are completely done. Instead, go ahead and click on question 2. Question 2 will take you to question 2. And notice my grade bumped up 1 out of 5. Same question for question 2, but let's say this time it's a different kind of question. I don't really know what I'm doing. I accidentally put in 3, right? So I put in 3 and I submit it. Alas, I was wrong. I didn't get any credit for that point, right? Or sorry, any points for that question. I didn't get any credit. You might be thinking, oh crap, this is going to suck if I have to enter things in wrong. But what if I entered in wrong? What if I didn't know how to do it? Luckily, see this part up here that says score on last attempt? You have an unlimited number of attempts for questions. Unlimited number, okay? Very few of them are multiple choice, so don't think you can just click your way through this. But you have an unlimited number to figure out how to do this question. On this one specifically, I have an unlimited number of attempts to figure out how to type 0. So once I finally figure out how to do that and I click submit, then I get all my points back. So even if you missed points the first time, the 6th time, the 27th time, you can always get all your points back once you finally get the right answer, okay? Keep going. All of these are the same. Once you have finished So let's say you get through 3 questions, right? Or maybe you get through 7 or 8 and you have to go or something, or your internet crashes or whatever, and you can't finish the homework, right? So, or let's say you accidentally click next. Something happens that you get out of the homework. 2 things happen. 1, you are more than welcome to go back and finish it, but you'll also notice that over here you are presented a grade. So when you click on that, if you go to your grades, you'll notice that for down here at the bottom, for demo homework assignment, I got 0 out of 0. Great, I got 0 out of 0, I got full points. Now that's because it's a demo homework assignment, but let's say like you got the 3 out of 5 questions up here on 3.1, you would get an 8 out of 10. Okay, so it'll automatically convert it for you, but notice that it's an instant grade. You already know what you got, okay, so it's already there for you, and then down here it'll factor them all together and tell you your total score on homework. I will also put in tests in here and things like that. But let's say I'm not satisfied with that grade. Let's say I'm not satisfied with a 8 out of 10. I actually want the full credit, so I go back to my homework assignment, and notice it saved my place. It saved how many questions I've already done, okay? So don't think that if you click out, you have to automatically start over, okay? It is smart enough to figure out where you left off and what you still need to do. So then if I go and I do all of them, okay, very important. Notice I typed in 0 for 4, and I didn't hit submit, so it didn't save it. The only thing I have to make sure I do is I hit submit. But let's say I do all 5 of them, and the grade here says 5 out of 5. That grade is not anything that's not anything that coordinates to your actual grade. It just shows you the raw score. So if you got 4 out of 5, if you got 3 out of 5, it tells you how many you got correct so far. And then if I go over here, it'll tell me, or sorry, if I go to grades, it'll tell me, okay, now you got the full points. You got the 10 out of 10 for the homework assignment. Fabulous. And that's how homework works. So let's go back to the assignment now, which I have finished, right? And it says this assignment is completed with a perfect score. Woohoo, you did it, yay! If you want to reattempt this assessment, it's not a test, but if you want to reattempt it, you are allowed to. So you can go on and reattempt and do it all over again if you feel like it. And then also, after you've done something, you can click to see a summary of your score. So down here at the bottom, you can see a summary. Doesn't really show you much except that you got 1 out of 1 for everything. So that button's not really useful unless, for some reason you didn't get them right. Awesome. So that's how homework is done. I don't know, anyways. If you just want to jump to your homework assignment, you can go under assignments. Assignments will also show you where they are. So the first one would be disclosure. The demo assignment's down here at the bottom, undated. So if I just wanted to go to the demo assignment, I could click on that, and it would get me to the same place. So there's a couple different ways to get there, but again, the modules, it's just so in order and organized that that's the first place you want to start. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Now there's one other type of homework assignment you might see. It'll be a worksheet. Sometimes after tests, we have a worksheet in class. Sometimes there are days when you need a worksheet, but these kind of set up the same way as the notes page. That's just a PDF file. So a PDF file, if I wanted to see this document before I pull it down, I just click that button again. That button shows me what it is. It says, okay, here's your demo homework assignment, and then you would print this out and you would turn it in. And again, any worksheet you get in class, unless it's an alternate assignment, actually no, even an alternate assignment, they will be copies on here. You will get the original in class the first time, so this will just be if you misplaced it or you forgot that it was due and you left it at school or whatever, and you just need to do it. It'll be in there for you to download. That's the only other homework assignment you might see. Okay, so we'll go back to modules. So far we've talked about the notes page, how you can get a copy of notes there, the video pages and how you can get you can see the videos there, the demo assignment and how they work, the demo assignment worksheets, and then those are the basic 4 that you're going to see every single time. The basic 3, I should say. A notes, a section, and assignment. Notes, section, assignment. The other 3 types, or the other 2 types you might see are ones for homework quizzes and ones for tests. Neither one of these, homework quizzes or test reminder page, have anything for you to do on them. They are just, as they state, reminder pages. Okay, so this is just to tell you that a homework quiz is coming up. Like, for example, if I were to go into Unit 3, I would say, oh, look, 3.2a is going to have a homework quiz on it. I better make sure I do this homework, right? And then the test reminder pages look something like, hey, look, Tomorrow you've got a Unit 3.1 to 3.3 quiz. I better make sure I do this 3.3b assignment. So they're just reminder pages, and they just kind of look like, they've just got like information on them. So they're just for you to read. If they've got test dates on them, that's also in the calendar. They've got what you can do to help you study, and things like that. But they're just reminder pages, basically how it works. Okay. So the very last thing in this introduction to Canvas modules is this disclosure assignment. That's the only one that's actually an assignment. Now, as I said before, this video should come after you've read the disclosure. So after we do this video, you should be able to actually do this assignment. Now, half of this assignment is to get your parents to sign that disclosure, so make sure you do that part. But there is also a little quiz in here. Notice, however, it says disclosure. This assignment is locked until 23 at 12 a.m. Today, for me, it is Thursday, June 22nd, so it is not going to be open for quite a while. When it hits August 23 at 12 a.m., it will automatically unload. It will automatically unlock. There's nothing you need to do. So once you get in there right now, when you're watching this video, it should be open. If you click on disclosure, you will see that there is a copy there for you in case you lose it. And there are also 4 questions you need to answer about the disclosure to make sure you're paying attention today. That will be your first homework assignment. And if we were to go into grades, you would see that disclosure is your first assignment due the 28th, which is Monday, by midnight. So you just need to turn it in. It's just a piece of paper. And then we would start with chapter 3. Okay? Alrighty, cool. Some other things I want to show you. So those are the main types of module pages. Just a few other things I want to show you in case you forget. We talked about how a discussion is used. That's just for the section notes and how those can help you. Talked about assignments. Talked about how quizzes don't really hold anything. If you click on it, it's just no quizzes available, blank. Kind of talked about grades. One other thing I want to show you with grades, this is a fun thing. If you want to know what you need on a test, you can actually click it in, like, hey, what happens if I get a 9 out of 10? Well, then you've got 90% in the class, right? So you can it helps you calculate your own grades, which is really fun. That I used a lot in college. You can arrange it by module, right? Usually arranging it by module, arranging it by due date is the same thing. You can arrange it by title. Anyways, so there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. Play around with this when you have some time. But, yeah, that's grades. People, if you go into people, you'll see something like this. You'll see everyone. This usually will show you your class, just your class, not everyone, I believe. If it shows you everyone who's taking it, just make sure you select your class. But this is how you'll see it. You'll see I've got me present, I've got myself present. I have the role of the teacher. I've also got 2 test students in here right now, both as the role of student. Yours should say role of student. If it doesn't, please contact your admin or contact IT. They definitely need to change you, or just let me know and I can change it for you. Otherwise, you can't accumulate any grades, and that's a problem, right? Now, let's say you wanted to form a study group. You could go to groups, and you could say plus group. Right? And then you could click, I want to invite student A and student B because they're cool. And we could say study group. Yay! Right? And you're going to spell group right. And then you can make a group out of people you want, to be in a group with. And that way you guys can work on roles together. You can work on stuff together. You can ask questions, things like that. Again, that's not necessary. You're not going to get bonus points for doing it. You're not going to get, you're not going to get anything extra for forming a group, but you will be able to contact them a little more easily through Canvas. And then last but not least, you got files. Like I said, it's unorganized nonsense, so you probably don't want to be in there too long because you'll get a headache. Instead, just go to modules. Modules has everything in nice, easy order. That way you can work through it. All right. Cool. If you are pretty tech savvy with Canvas, then you've probably got enough information. Okay, so if you've used Canvas before, you've got enough information. For those of us who maybe have never used Canvas before, I'm going to talk about a few other things you'll see with the dashboard and the calendar and things like that. If you are interested, then please make sure you stay tuned into this video. Otherwise, you are if this is being shown in class right now, go ahead and turn it off and move on to the next video. Okay, so I'll give you guys a couple seconds to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to go into a few other Canvas tools just so we're all aware of them. Okay, so once again, you should only still be watching if you are not in class and you are wondering about things on Canvas. So over here on the right-hand side, if you click on Account, it shows you basically some stuff about you. You can go into your settings, notifications, files, ePortfolio, and this will not work in test mode. I can't really edit everything here, but you're welcome to look around. It shows you stuff about you, right? So it's what your stuff. Don't mess around too much with the settings, especially when you're working with a school program, because it's really hard to reset you. So just don't, I wouldn't go into Account too much unless you notice it doesn't say your name here, and then that's a problem. Dashboard, apparently I can't do this anyways. Okay, so we're gonna leave student view. Okay, so dashboard looks like this for all of your classes, right? So for my test student, it didn't really work because I've only got one test student. He's not taking any other classes. But for dashboard, it's going to look like this. And like I said before, it's going to have another Facebook feed with all of your stuff. And it's going to have, over here, it's going to have coming up as well. So over here, it's going to have one. It's going to have all the things you need to do and all the recent feedback, all the stuff that maybe your teachers have graded, things like that. And then you can also view your calendar. You can also view your grades. Okay, so your grades, viewing your grades does a whole, viewing your grades, it takes a whole, what am I trying to say here? Not just for one class, so a whole school-wide grade. Doesn't average them together, but it gives you like a report card. That's what I'm looking for, a report card. Alright, cool. If I go to courses, I can take a look at all the courses I'm taking. Obviously, since I'm a teacher, I have quite a few courses, but if I wanted to go to my college prep class, I could say, okay, there's my college prep class, and I'm back in the page that we were just on for the rest of the discussion. The other feature that the other two features I want to talk about are calendars and inbox. If I go to my calendar, it obviously shows me a calendar, right? And since it's June right now, it's showing me June. But if I were to go over to like August, where you guys are in, or even September, it's going to show me all of the stuff I have to do if my teacher is using my calendar. Now, I will be using our calendar because I think it's very convenient. It organizes things by due date. Notice that I have all of my stuff put in here. Now, this is obviously for A day and B day, so I've got multiples here. And notice I only have one calendar on here. If I were to click a few more, actually I'm not sure how much would load here because I don't think anybody else has any other assignments posted. Yeah, so right now I don't have any other assignments posted, but I can look at it simply by which class I want to look at it by. So if I were to click simply on college prep, it would only show me college prep. If I were to look at college prep from last year, it would show me I wouldn't have anything because last year I didn't have anything posted in September of 2017, but it will show you class by class. Okay, and then if you click on one, it'll take you to, okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing, right? This is that alternate assignment I was talking about. And then if I want to go to that calendar, I can just click on here. If I want to go to the assignment, I just click on there. So it'll take me right there to the actual assignment page. Cool. You can have it in week mode. So you can look at the week, right? All of my assignments to do in this class are at 7:40, so it ranges by that. I can look at a month mode, which we just saw. And then I can also look at it as agenda, and it sets up this sort of calendar mode for me. This is what's due on Friday, this is what's due on Tuesday, so on and so forth. I can add stuff of my own to the calendar. If I want to remember I have soccer practice after school, I can do that. And then I can also click back to today by just clicking today. So it'll take me to June, and it'll automatically set up that way. Alright, so that's kind of the calendar. It's got lots of stuff for me to use. The other most important thing about Canvas is the inbox. It's a great way to contact your teachers. Notice I've got a whole bunch from here last year. You can sort it by course, right? So you can only look at college prep if you felt like looking at college prep. You can look at sent and unread just like you would a normal email. And then this button right here helps you compose a new message. Before then, if you look, if I go into like secondary Math 1 from last year and I click on Andy's email, it'll say, okay, you've got this email here, and then I can hit reply to all, archive it, which means save it somewhere, or I can trash it, right? And this is the same setup for you guys. Alright, so college prep. So let's say we're in here and I want to send an email to my college prep teacher. I click that little compose a new message button. And then I got to make sure I'm in the right course. If for some reason I'm not in the right course, I can change that. And then I set up here. Now I can either click this button to look at a list of people that I have, right? Or I can just start typing their name. Test student, hold on. I gotta make sure. That's fine. So I look at people in there, Jordan Kennedy, and then it pops up with my name, Jordan Kennedy. Or I look at Mrs. K, right? Or I look at Kennedy, and it'll pop up. So I can either type part of their first name, part of their last name, or I just type everybody. But if I actually want to select them, I have to go down and click on them so that they're put in this little blue box. I can also send a message to all of Section 1. I can send a message to all of College Prep. So I can send a message to the whole class, all in College Prep, right? And then it's basically like an email. It'll just send it out to everybody. Now the subject, if you want to include a subject, it's highly recommended. You know, questions about 3.5, whatever it is, or dramatic chipmunk video, like whatever you want to send it as. You can put whatever you want in the subject line, and it'll just do the same thing as it does in email. Then you send the letter. Hey, that video was funny. Not Ginny. Sorry. Funny. And it's recommended that you sign it just in case, but since it's Canvas, it will send it as you got a message from Mrs. Kennedy, and so your name will already be on it. You don't need to sign it. Two other boxes down here, you can attach files. So if you hit this little paper clip, you can attach any file you want. And just when you do that, like let's say I wanted to attach the Unit 5 notes, I would click open, and it would stick it in right there, right? So it's already attached. Or I can record a media. So right now I can record. It wants me to use a Flash player, or I can upload media, some sort of select. If you're kind of tech savvy, then you can use either one of those buttons, or if you need to send your teacher something, you can use that. Otherwise, you can just send them a message. And then you click send. Ta-da! Right? So you click send, and it should pop up in, if I do all courses, maybe, no. If I sent an email to myself, I don't think it's really going to pop up. But what happens is you'll see a little blue dot. It says it's a new message, right? If you want to make it important, you can star it, and then when you click on it, you can go read it and reply. And that's basically how the email works for everything, right? So it works for everything. And then if you've set it up right, you're more than welcome to ask your advisor or ask one of your counselors to help you set it up so that your email connects to this. You're the one you actually use. Right now I believe it sets up to the email, the CDS Docs ones that you get. I went through and actually changed my own because that's not the one I look at. So if you're not a CDS Docs user, right, then you can actually go in and change it. I believe it would be under settings. So settings, you can change it so that you can set it up to an email you actually care about. One final note, especially when it comes to things like settings, you are allowed to upload a picture, you are allowed to send emails, but just know that since you are under 18, this is activated as a student account, okay? So your teachers and your admin and your counselors can view anything and everything you post on there, okay? So be careful about what picture you use, right? Be careful about what messages you send. Anything can be taken off, and you can get in some serious trouble for hounding people for posting inappropriate stuff, just like you would on Facebook or like Tinder or Instagram or anything like that, okay? Alright, so that pretty much concludes my tour of Canvas. Probably way much more information than you ever wanted to know about Canvas, but just in case. That way you kind of know what you're doing when I'm not there, or if you have any questions. But again, if you missed something, you can always go back and look at it again. If you still don't understand something, feel free to email me and get some of your questions answered. I will always help you out with anything. Cool.